Well, what I'm thinking is go over this lexicon, try to take our time, make sure we really clarify and define our terms in a concrete way. Okay. Today I want to go over the Watch Obsessive's lexicon, part one. The terms we'll be going over today are the pop radio hit, the succubus that belongs to Johnny Casual, the watch feeding frenzy, the biggest man in the room syndrome, the great purge, uh, the relapse. That was number 6. And number 7, we're only going to do 7 today. See if we can define these properly. And then watch conditioning or timepiece conditioning, however you may want to go. It's important that we define our terms today. I have my lecture pen, wearing a black Citizen ProMaster Sky with sapphire, anti-reflective. It's got something on it called Duratect that prevents scratching, and it has no scratches, so we're happy about that. The first watch lexicon term today is called the pop radio hit. Sometimes you hear a song on the radio and you love it. You have to buy it, and you listen to it 5 times and you never listen to it again. There's an equivalent of that in the world of watches. You are razzle-dazzled by a particular watch and you have to have it. You buy it, you wear it a few times, the next thing you know it's for sale on Watch Recon. It's a flip. You are flipping that watch. I feel that way about the Benares Moray Vintage, which comes on brown leather. It's for sale right now. I like Steve Laughlin. I like the Benares products. And he has various colors with this vintage. It's on a brown leather strap. I think I said it's 44 millimeters. The drama of the watch, it makes it eye-catching. He has this huge domed crystal over it, which distorts the numbers in a pleasing way. And man, I've been wanting to buy it for the last 2 months. I've been holding off. It's about $500, and a couple things. 44 for that type of watch. I'd rather go with a 46 or 47, and more importantly, the crystal is not made out of sapphire. He's using something called acrylic and some kind of polymer. And I don't know if I'm going to spend $500 on a watch with acrylic. And then because it's double domed, it's jettisoning out. I just think it's going to scratch. I'm already seeing them on Watch Recon for $50 off. People are already flipping them, and I don't know. I would like to see it in person. It might be stunning in person. I don't know, but I'm worried that would be a pop radio hit. The next term, man, we could do a whole presentation on this. This was based on a discussion I had with Johnny Casual, and he came up with the term, the watch succubus. I don't know if you know what a succubus is. It's a she-demon that latches onto you and never lets go and sucks the life out of you. Well, maybe the Seiko Sumo. Forgive me. Let's first define the watch succubus. This is a watch that you keep buying and selling, buying and selling. It's a rebuy, and when you don't have it after you just sold it, you're tormented. You go, why did I sell that watch? I love that watch. And then you get the watch again, you know, your 4th rebuy. In my case, I've bought and sold the Seiko Sumo 4 times, and I'm ashamed to say that, but at the end of the day, you have to be honest with the watch community. The Seiko Sumo, if you look at it straight on, it doesn't look that good, but any angle where you can see the case, it is an unusual case, and it's one of my favorite cases ever made. Maybe my favorite case ever made. I don't even own a Seiko Sumo right now. But when you don't have it, you know, you long for it. And then when you do have it, you're going, I don't know, man. And it torments you. It just takes up too much space in your brain. And for that reason, it is called the succubus. I guess if your watch obsession in general is causing too much stress and anxiety in your life, I guess you could just call your whole watch obsession one big giant succubus. But a specific application of the succubus here would be the the one watch that you're just so ambivalent about, and you sell it and then you want to get it again and you buy it again. It's just disgusting. And I'm wondering if I'm the only one. I don't think I am, because I keep seeing people on Watch You Seek saying, this was my fourth try at the Echozilla. This was my, fifth try at this and that. And I'm getting the sense that, excuse me, those of us who are members of the Watch Idiot Savant community, that we are victims, willing accomplices maybe, of the succubus. That could have been an entire presentation. Forgive me if I didn't give it the thoroughness, the robust exploration that it deserves. I have to work out for reasons you'll see in a second. The third lexicon term is the watch feeding frenzy. Very dangerous. Let's look at the watch feeding frenzy. You are just loving buying watches and selling them, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, the adrenaline rush. The journey of buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. I think the journey was used by someone who read my video recently. It becomes more exciting than the actual watch. You don't even like watches. You just like buying and selling them. You're just engaged in this consumer frenzy. And honestly, if you're buying and selling all the time, you have to go deep into your soul and ask yourself, do you really like watches? Or do you just like to buy and sell because it's fun? You're like a gambler. You're just a shark swimming in the waters. You got to keep buying and selling, buying and selling. You're a trader. You're going, you're Marco Polo trading pasta for this and jewels and spices, and you don't even care about watches. Maybe I don't know. I'm just throwing some ideas out here. The next category, the fourth term we're going to define, is the biggest man in the room syndrome. I want to preface this definition by saying not all big watches are alike. For example, my first watch love, the Echozilla, is a big watch. It's 48 millimeters, but it's a tool. There's no shame in wearing it. However, some watches, especially some fashion brands, it just, they're gaudy. They're Las Vegas. They're crass. They got this little rococo styling on them and everything, and you go into a room and you're male posturing, and then you realize you become self-conscious as you're doing it, as you're standing in the room, and then you're overcome by shame. You're like, who am I? How transparent am I? Trying to be the biggest man in the room. Oh my God, I'm an embarrassment. I got to stop this, man. And then it's time to reevaluate your watch situation. Trying to just posture and be the biggest man in the room. I can remember, wearing a nice watch at some function or other, and looking at my wife's cousin. I gave him a Nixon 5130. It's a pretty big watch. By the name, it's 51 millimeters. I don't buy Nixons anymore. I can't stand that watch brand. But I remember thinking, ooh, his watch is bigger than mine. I've been disgraced. Well, I'm exaggerating, but I definitely think we should stay away from the biggest man in the room syndrome. The Great Purge. That's number 5. Here, and the people have been telling me that watch obsessives begin by buying the cheaper fashion brands, and so you've accumulated all these cheap fashion brands. And I'm embarrassed to tell you this, but again, honesty, candor, transparency is the key here. A few years ago, I remember I had accumulated 55 fashion watches. 55. That's a sickness. That's a disease. That requires an intervention. And like most watch obsessives, I had it. Something happened, and I just sold them all. And we call this the Great Purge. And I guess for the watch obsessive, that would be your first step to salvation. Related to the Great Purge would be number 6. This is called the Relapse. You're now going to entry-level tool watches as an antidote to those disgusting, giant, oversized fashion brands that you wore. So you probably have some nice Seikos and Citizens, maybe a few micro brands, and then you're thinking, I miss those big, bold watches, man. And you start buying them again. You had a relapse, man, because you like to think yourself as a watch obsessive as someone who's going through a journey, an evolution, an education, and you're getting smarter and smarter, and your tastes are getting more and more refined. When you have the relapse, the excitement of buying that big, gaudy fashion watch is immediately canceled by your sense of shame and sense of depression that you went backwards when you're supposed to be going forwards. And then finally, number 7, here's one I would like to do. By the way, this, I want to let you know something. This is called watch conditioning. Here, you are someone, let's say you have an Omega Planet Ocean 46 millimeter. You've got some Panerai 47 millimeters. You've got some Breitling Super Avengers and such. And I'm sorry, but because you've been spending so much time in front of the internet eating Hot Pockets, you've ballooned, you've gained weight. And now you look like a giant tomato with 4 toothpicks sticking out of it. And no matter how glorious your Omega Planet Ocean is, it looks horrible on you. And now you need the watch police to come up to you on the street and say, sir, you're ruining the Omega Planet. You can't even wear that. Well, you need to take it off, and you need to either give it away to someone who is worthy of wearing it, or you need to get into some conditioning so you can be worthy of wearing such a beautiful watch. And we do call this watch conditioning. And I need to get into some watch conditioning. I have twin daughters there, and I'm not going to blame them for this. I take responsibility for this. But I have been eating a lot. They're 5 years old, and I clean up their messes, and I eat their food, and I've made some bad eating choices. And my wife likes to bake when she's grading papers, and she gets stressed out. And I've made some bad choices. Well, let's put it this way: 3 summers ago, when my girls were 2, I was at my ultimate weight. I was 210, and it was weird. My doctor told me, you need to lose a little weight, and it was just enough hearing that just to tweak my eating. So I lost weight. I went from 240 to 210 after hearing that, and I loved weighing 210. I think my joints felt better, and so 3 years have passed, and I've gained 10 pounds a year. I'm back up to 240. That doctor I had, by the way, he got a transfer, and I haven't even had a specific doctor telling me what to do. I guess I'm one of those guys who needs a kick in the pants to get motivated, and like most of us, food is an incredible source of self-medication. And my workouts are great, the kettlebells, and I'll be working out in about 20 minutes, and I'm addicted to my working out. But man, it'd be nice to get into some conditioning. If I don't even care about, because I'll look better wearing I wear my watch, just because I'll feel better about myself. But I do find that a fascinating idea, that you could find yourself having the most amazing watch collection, but if you look like a giant blob, pretty much that collection has gone to waste. There's some other terms we could come up with, but that's 7. That's a good number. That's not bad. I need to work out here and work on some personal weight management issues. So we will call this it for today, and until I get another list of 7, I'll be back for part 2.